Welcome to the Set Me Free Radio podcast.
Are you ready for this?
Hi, welcome to the Set Me Free Radio podcast, and I am Stephanie Olson here with
Cindy Hultine.
And we are going to do part 2 of women, weight, and body image. We want to give you some of the tips and solutions that we can use to really make our body healthier and surrender it to the Lord. But very exciting, I would like to share with you that next week, make sure that you tune in, because next week we are so honored to have Lorette Willis, the founder and creator of Praise Moves, an alternative to yoga, with us. And she is going to share a little bit about her story and just give us some ideas of what we can do to maintain a healthy body, to really not only healthy body, but a healthy spiritual life. So I am so excited to have her on the podcast. But in the meantime, you get Cindy and I.
Yay!
Yay! So we're going to talk a little bit about some of those tips and solutions that we can do to maintain a healthy weight, not so much about weight, but
more like healthy living, healthy lifestyle, healthy eating.
Yeah.
For not only us, but for our husbands and our children. I think it's really important to instill these tools or this sense of living, of healthy living in our children, because we're seeing a rise in obesity. We're seeing an increase in heart disease and diabetes, and this all stems from the food we're putting in our body.
Right. And I think that's so important. Last week we interviewed Joy Martin, who is the co-founder of Set Me Free Ministries, and my sister, and she shared her story with her struggle with weight issues and body image, and that was so great. And I think it was a real important story to tell. But now we want to go just a little bit further and talk about what can we do? What are some of the tangible things we can do to live a life that glorifies the Lord in a healthy lifestyle?
Right. And I think, first of all, it is important to take note that we are not talking about a diet. I don't believe in diets. Diets don't work for the long term. Any diet out there if you follow it properly, you will lose weight.
Right.
You'll lose weight. But what about after you're done, after the 12 or 14 days or the 60 days? What about then?
Because diets don't teach you how to live life eating healthy.
Right. They don't teach you how to change the behaviors.
Right.
That can take sometimes years. Well, for me, I've spent years in my entire life just changing little habits. Changing my white pasta or my white rice to a whole grain brown rice or a whole grain pasta. Now we're moving on. Yeah. Now we're moving even from that. But anyway.
Right. Well, and I think that I know that personally I really struggle because I feel like I do really well and then, 10 steps forward, 5 steps back, and it's just this back and forth thing. This is the one area in my life that I have really struggled surrendering to the Lord. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how do we truly do this? Not only logistically, what are some of the things that we can do? But next week, I think we're really going to get into how can we surrender this to the Lord and live that lifestyle fully.
I think I do want to touch on part of that right now because I think Lorette, I know, will reiterate this and really go into detail with this. But I've been reading some of her books and getting involved in some of her praise moves and those different programs. And the number one thing, I think, and this, she said this is her heart, so it's Romans 12:1 and 2. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. And so I've always struggled with eating, and, although the changes are slow and I try to do a better job, I still have problems with cookies. I cannot eat just one cookie. I have a problem with sweets.
Yeah.
Period. Let's just tell it how it is.
Chocolate's my downfall.
Chocolate, yeah. Like cookie exchanges during Christmas, they just do me in.
I never do those.
Well, I shouldn't. Well, I don't. I've done them a few times, and it's just bad.
I just keep all the cookies for myself. I don't exchange them with anybody.
Yeah, but then you get different kinds of cookies.
Yeah, I don't know. What if you don't like them?
I've never met a cookie I didn't like. That's my problem.
I see.
Where was I? Oh, yes. Okay. So what I've really been learning over the last couple of weeks, so this is really brand new, so I'll be really excited to hear Laurette speak on this. But I've been surrendering my will to the Lord. I've been surrendering my food eating to the Lord for years now, and okay, I haven't gotten anywhere with that. And I want to get somewhere with this.
Right.
I want to conquer this. I am so sick and tired of
be on the other side of victory. Yes.
Yeah, kind of. It's getting kind of old.
Yeah.
And I bet it's getting old for God too. Gosh, again,
Can you get with it?
So what I learned through this passage though is that every morning I've decided to present my body as a living sacrifice to God.
Amen.
And then I learned that I couldn't just do it in the morning. I actually have to do it all day long. Cause boy, the other day it came to the evening. I'm like, oh, I need to, cause I felt that. I'm like, oh, I just want to eat. I'm like, I'm going to present my body, as a living sacrifice to the Lord. And let's just say my enthusiasm wasn't that great because my heart really wasn't in the right place because I really wanted, I don't know, I can't remember what it was.
A cookie.
But whatever it was, I wanted it. And so I was like, oh, I present myself. Mm-hmm, yeah, right. Okay. It didn't go over very well. So I've learned that I need to say this all day throughout the day, and especially at night before I start getting into that bad time in the evening. My downfall, by the way, is in the evening at this point. So I have come a long way throughout the entire day now, and now it's the evening. But, you can do a lot of damage in the evening.
But I think that's a really good point because everybody has a time in the day, I think, that really they struggle with.
Right.
Mine happens to be at around 3:00. And that is a really difficult time for me, 2 to 3-ish, and that time where I just want an afternoon snack. And so that debate starts going on in my head. Well, I have been eating really well today, so it wouldn't be so bad to have whatever it is that would be really bad to have. And once I do that, once I say yes to that or cave into that temptation, it's gone. The rest of the day is ruined in my head. I'm this all or nothing person.
Me too. And that's not to say that we can't have a cookie. I mean, I think we should allow ourselves little indulgences, little splurges, but that are controlled. I mean, that are small. If you want like a little bit of ice cream, go out and, go to like TCBY or wherever. I'm not allowed to say that. Go out to the ice cream place and get a small little cup where it's controlled and it's not in your house, where it's not taunting you and tempting you and calling your name. I've heard my name called before. I know it.
Yeah.
I know it.
Oh yeah. I'm with you. Well, and I think that for me, it is once it's that talk in my head and I have an addictive personality. And so, I've said before, I'm an alcoholic. I'm recovering. I was a smoker. I used to drink 2 pots of coffee before 7 a.m. I mean, I just have an addictive personality. And so there was always this joke with among other alcoholics that you would never quit drinking on a Wednesday. You'd always quit drinking on a Monday because that's the beginning of the week. You'd never quit on a Wednesday.
That's like you always start a diet on
Yeah.
See, I looked at you and went, what? That makes no sense
Same
to me.
thing.
Oh, but when you relate it to food, yes, we always start diets on a Monday. Or you always start your eating, I'm going to eat right.
And I do that too. Even when, I've had a really rough weekend or Thanksgiving. At the time of this podcast, we have just had the pleasure of finishing a Thanksgiving holiday. So you give yourself a little leeway, I think, during Thanksgiving. And then it's Sunday and you're like, well, it's Sunday. I can still eat a bunch of junk. And then Monday you bear down. It's just this struggle with
Thanksgiving can be really dangerous because I know my evenings and weekends are dangerous for me. Boy, you put a 4-day weekend in there. And do you know how much damage you can do?
Yeah, a whole lot. It's
going to take you a month to recuperate from this.
Yeah, it really does. Well, and that's the other thing. And then I want to really get into some tips. But when we allow ourselves to consume really unhealthy foods, I've noticed with chocolate, for example, when I indulge in too much chocolate or too much sweets, it changes your body chemistry. And so you feel differently. I don't feel as good when I have eaten a whole bunch of junk.
Right.
Yeah. So let's talk about some tips. What are some logistical things that we can do to make sure that we are on the right track with daily eating, even with body image, even with not worrying about our weight, not having it being a weight issue, but a health issue? What are some of the things that we can really, truly do?
I think the first thing that we need to focus on is eating real food. Getting away from that processed food, but eating food that's been grown or that God has given us. Mm-hmm. I always like to start, water, getting rid of the soda. I'm not going to say get rid of the coffee because I'm a huge coffee drinker, but the caffeine, I don't know how good that is for your body, especially in large consumption. So I'm speaking to myself here, I guess.
Yeah.
But getting that water in your body's made up of, I forget what the percentage of water your body's made up of, but it's a very big deal to be replenishing your body with as much water as possible. And I know there's percentages out there, and I know that Lorette is going to really be able to help us with that next week. So when I talk about real food, I'm talking fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, dairy that are fat-free or low-fat, chemical-free preferably. I love yogurt, and I think a non-fat yogurt is really good, but I think we also need to get away from the chemicals. So doing like a non-fat Greek yogurt and putting maybe your own fruit in it, it's actually very tasty, and it can be very healthy. And when you're focusing on these better quality foods, you're going to stay fuller longer, and you're going to stay satisfied. You're going to have more energy, and you're going to be able to function better.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I've got more.
No, I was just going to, can I ask you a question about that? Because, eating clean, eating organic, things like that, making sure that you don't have as much chemicals in, because it's not just low fat, it's eating more organic stuff, it's eating stuff. That can be more expensive though.
Well, even with the organic, you need to be careful. If you're looking at a processed food, there's going to have more sugar, probably sugars in it. So you need to be careful of the sugars. Cane sugar is still sugar.
Right.
So when you talk about, the expense, well, this is what I've heard this a lot. You go for the organic vegetables and fruits, especially because you're looking at chemicals. And I'll tell you, you spend more money now on your food. You're going to spend less money on
health
cancer,
issues,
diabetes, heart issues.
Right. It's a lot cheaper this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen this post. Okay, I like Facebook, you guys, so I'm going to make a lot of references to Facebook posts I've seen on Facebook because I think they're funny. I think it said you think organic is expensive now, but cancer is way more expensive later or something like that.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Well, I do too. And I'm no medical doctor, but we have seen such a rise in cancer in children and cancer. I mean, it is so huge. And I have to believe that part of that is the chemicals in our food, the processed food we're eating. I mean, when I was a kid, we ate we didn't go out to eat a whole lot. We would go to McDonald's like as a treat once every 6 months. You know what I mean? It was not exactly something you would do all the time. And I look at what's happening today, and there are people that eat fast food almost every day. And it's really scary because we're in this fast-paced society and it's quick and we need to do things fast. And so we go out to eat or we go get fast food, and that is just killing us.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been through some of those McDonald's lines, and they are not fast. I can whip up the rice in my kitchen quicker than I can go to McDonald's.
No kidding.
Well, I can get what I asked
because
for.
So many people are going there now. They used to be a lot faster.
And it's expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not one of those who eats out every day.
Right.
I mean, I can't afford to do that.
No. And I'm fast food is not something that I crave by any means.
Yeah.
It's something I don't really enjoy a whole lot. So, but like crock pot cooking, and you can do a lot of stuff to save time or to have a quick meal without doing the fast food thing.
And there are, oh my gosh, on the internet, you just Google it, you guys. There are so many recipes out there for anything and everything you could possibly want a recipe for. I'm going to continue down my list of foods that we should be putting in our bodies. Whole grains is next. Healthy oils. And I'm going to go back to the whole grains here. We're looking at, I'm going to say whole grain bread, pastas, whole grain pastas, quinoa, couscous, that type of thing. I do want to make a slight little note here on if you're we've been going through this journey with gluten.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to throw this in there because this comes in with the whole grains. And we've been going through this huge journey with my daughter, and she's had really severe stomach issues. And we've eliminated gluten from her diet, and she is doing so much better. But aside from just the digestive issues, there are a lot of other issues that go along with a gluten intolerance. And I'm not going to be able to look that up for you really quick right now, but I do know that they can be anxiety, depression, like mood disorder type of things, foggy head, bloating in your stomach, or some of the physical ones. So anyway, there's a whole slew of
health benefits.
Health. Well, yeah. I mean, but of the intolerance of symptoms.
Oh,
that can come
I see. Yeah,
from,
yeah.
Gluten intolerance.
Right.
So, and
it's not just
right.
It's not a stomach issue necessarily.
It's not just a stomach issue. And when we've talked about our food and our food supply that's out there and what's happening to it, some of the food out there is being modified in a way that I don't think is fit for our bodies. This is my own personal opinion and from what I've read. Yeah. But I encourage you guys to go out there and do your own research. I'm going to tell you every time to do your own research.
Right. That's what we do.
Don't take my word for it. But from what I've researched and just from our own experience, I've taken gluten out of my diet because I told my 6-year-old, hey, I'll do this with you, because it's a 6-year-old. You're taking gluten out of a 6-year-old's diet. That's hard to do in the beginning. And so I was encouraging her, and I said, we'll do it together, honey. She says, okay. So I did that. And it's actually not that bad once you figure it out. You can replace pasta with a brown rice pasta. That's very healthy for you, and it curbs that grain if you want something, that carb. So anyway, I had taken out of my diet for a couple of weeks. I felt fine. I felt actually pretty good. And then I went to eat something. I'm like, forget this. I'm going to have something. I think it was like shredded wheat or some cereal.
Probably a Twinkie.
It wasn't a Twinkie. I hate Twinkies. Twinkies and Ding Dongs, those cream fillings, disgusting. But anyway, Do they even sell Twinkies anymore?
Yes,
okay.
they just restock them. Yes.
Gosh, talk about going on a tangent. Where was I? Anyway, so I ended up eating something like whole wheat. It's put my stomach it was twirling and I felt terrible. I was bloated. It was gargling for the rest of the day. I couldn't believe how bad I felt. So I thought, well, maybe there's something to this gluten thing. So, if you're having problems, I don't know, check out the whole gluten thing.
Yeah. And I think that eating clean is really, really important in making sure that we're putting only certain things in our body. And when you look biblically, the diet in the Bible, when you look at what God gave us, it's all natural, obviously very organic, and everything is, there is it's clean, healthy eating.
And that's one of the things, what I loved about one of Lorette's books from Praise Moves, is that she talked about the food from the Bible.
Right.
She talked about biblical eating.
Yes.
And she even went into, and I forget what the most thing that I forget. Anyway, it was a couple of weeks ago, and there's been a lot that's happened in the last couple of weeks. But she even mentioned like meat, that they only ate meat on occasion, that was a treat. Mm-hmm. I hadn't realized that it wasn't every day that they went out and killed the I'm thinking of Esau with Jacob and Esau, where he went out and killed the whatever and
really good stew.
Brought it back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Birthright gone. Right.
Yeah, with the hairy arms. Okay. Gosh.
Well, okay. So yes, eating clean. I think that's important. What we put into our body. What about what about things we can do to help us not overeat? You know what I'm saying? There are certain things we can do. For example, for me personally, when I'm consistently exercising, I eat less.
Right.
Or I'm more conscious. I'm more aware of what I'm eating.
Depending on what you're doing, like
you might eat more.
Runner, you're probably going to be more hungry. You're going to eat more, but you fuel your body with these quality foods,
right?
And you're going to be okay. Your body's going to burn it. Your body burns this clean food. It burns it efficiently.
Right.
It's not struggling.
Right. It's not. And again, it's not about weight.
And
it's about healthy eating.
Yeah. Your muscles are more toned, and you're going to feel the difference in your body. So why would you want to add those dozen cookies when you feel good already?
You
feel bad.
Yeah. So exercise is one of those things.
Huge.
That's huge. What else?
These are some of the things that, eating your calories during the day. Eating, because we have to consume a certain amount of calories. First of all, we need to be consuming a proper number of calories, and that just depends on your body weight.
Yeah.
And male or female and that type of thing. And let's eat those.
And calories are not bad.
Yeah, calories are energy.
Yeah, calories are good. Right.
So consume quality breakfast that will sustain you.
Right.
Eat your snacks. So you're gonna want to eat a good breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and eat snacks in between.
Right.
It's okay to eat.
When you're hungry,
5 to 6 times a day.
Right.
I do. I eat all day long. Stephanie, I'm always carrying a pack of lunch. Although I don't today because
weird.
I just ate, and I knew I wouldn't be here very long. So
okay,
but I did bring my water. Yes,
good job.
Okay, so anyway, so eating those calories during the day and not waiting until the end of the day because you do not want to go to bed.
Have a big bowl of ice cream right before you go to sleep, which is exactly what I did. Last night or 2 nights ago. Ew. Yeah.
It's not
last
healthy.
night.
I do it a lot. I'm trying to get away from it. I'm trying to get away from eating right before bed and waiting like 2 or 3 hours.
That's good, right?
Before, from your last meal and before you go to bed.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Stopping.
So you stop if you're going to bed. And actually, Lorette talks about that. If you're going to bed at 11 o'clock, stop eating at 8.
Right.
And have
3 hours.
Yeah, have that time between the last time you eat and the time you go to bed. Yeah.
I get kind of hungry.
I do
My
too.
stomach starts to growl.
I do too. And sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night hungry.
Or maybe, but if you do need to eat something, I'm sure like an apple or maybe some tea.
I'm not going to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, not in the middle of the night, but I'm saying right before bed.
Okay. I see what you say. Well,
as opposed to me eating,
a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't have ice cream in my house. So I would eat like 3 bowls of cereal right before bed.
Yeah. I like cereal too. Okay. So that's good. One of the things that we had a gal who contacted us after our last podcast, and she sent us her blog. And I think that is a great way. So she has this weight loss journey that she's on, godly woman, and she is just journaling her life. And it's about her weight loss, but it's about other aspects of her life. And I think that is a great way to stay on track or to keep, when you journal things.
Especially in public.
Well, yeah, that cannot hurt. When you're journaling things or just keeping track of your feelings and keeping track of what's going on, I think that's a great way to kind of stay focused. And I don't know, I think that's...
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do know when I was training for a 5K, I would post, after I was done with my workout, I would post on Facebook every time. And that was like 3 times a week for about 5 weeks for some of the people that saw those.
Yeah, I remember.
And I know they might have gotten annoying, but it kept me accountable because at some point I know people know where I'm at and they're going to start to wonder.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what happened to the rest of it? Would you quit?
Do you think people really care that much?
Some people responded, yes, I do.
Yes, okay.
Okay, because it's about me. Shut up.
Okay, no, I totally agree with you. And I think that keeps us accountable. But having an accountability partner is important. Mm-hmm. Having somebody who you can call before you're about to binge on whatever and say, okay, I'm about to do this.
Like
talk me down. Like a sponsor, exactly. Or an accountability partner.
like a food sponsor.
Whatever you want to call it. I think it's important to have that person who you can call and say, okay, I'm in trouble. Help me out here. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's good.
Stephanie,
Thank you.
I'll be calling you.
You do. So, okay. But here's the other thing that I really try and do, and I know that we're going to get in a more spiritual aspect, especially next week, because we cannot talk about weight and body image without the spiritual aspect. It is all encompassing.
I've tried it. I've tried to do that and I haven't,
doing it on your own. It doesn't work. And the last thing that we said with joy is that we cannot do this without the power of the Holy Spirit. It's truly surrendering this stuff to Him and truly saying, okay, God, how would you have me eat? How can I live my life to glorify and honor you? How would you have me? Whatever. And so one of the things that I do try and do when I'm about to go crazy on Dove chocolate or whatever is sit down and worship. Or spend time in prayer or with my Bible. It doesn't taste like chocolate right away.
Yeah, already I'm like,
Yeah, but
it just doesn't sound as appealing.
But it should be.
I know. See,
You heathen.
I have a long way to go.
No, sometimes. But you know what? When you are done worshiping or done reading the Bible, you don't feel guilty. Yeah, see? That's an important piece.
I've never gotten that far.
Okay. So I'm on my own with this one. So I will just say that try it. It's less guilt-ridden.
Yeah. Try it.
Yeah.
So instead of replacing that activity with something else.
Yeah, it's just replacing the activity of eating with Jesus,
with honoring God and worshiping Him.
Yeah, because I think anytime you go past the point of no, the other way.
I see that chocolate. See that chocolate over there is killing me.
Yes, I do have some chocolate over there, but that's not for me. That's for gifts. So you can't even have that. Okay,
that works.
But if you get past the point of temptation, you can overcome it. So you have this point right where you're being tempted that you do that self-talk. Mm-hmm. Like, I am going to eat this regardless of what happens, or you can take it to the Lord and say, God, help me, because I want to eat this, but I know this is not what you want from me. Because, and I will say, you're right that sometimes one cookie is not a bad thing.
Right.
But aren't there some foods that you just cannot have in your house or else you will eat the whole thing?
Yeah, they're called trigger foods.
Yes, exactly.
We call them trigger foods.
So one of the
Cookies would be
things,
mine.
right, see?
And a bag of candy.
Those are not yours. One of the things that we can do, though, is remove trigger foods from our home.
Right.
And that's hard sometimes when you have kids and your trigger food or a husband or whatever that your trigger food is not there, you know?
Yeah. And in my house, it's not that bad for us because my husband is not a sweets eater.
Oh,
and so he can actually take the food and hide it from us. And my kids shouldn't be having sugar in the first place. Right. So, I mean, you know, and especially if there is candy and sugar around, my kids don't need to eat it, so I should just hurry up and eat it for them. So then, didn't you put a post out there? You got rid of candy for your
did.
family?
I got rid of all of the Snickers and Tootsie Rolls, because I was worried. I was worried about my family and didn't want them to suffer through.
Right.
So I took it on myself to remove that from our house.
And you did a fine job.
Thank you. Yes, I did. It's gone. Yes.
Okay. But I do have the luxury of having my husband take it from me and hide it for me. And then when he's dishing out, you know, he's giving the ration for the day, I'm right there with the kids. Okay, you can have mine.
You know what? That's another actually good way to get rid of stuff that my husband sometimes takes things into work and you can take it into your work or whatever. Yeah. I mean, one of the places that I work in ministry has a huge bowl of candy.
I think I know where you're talking about.
And bowls of candy everywhere for clients, but also for everybody. So we could take our excess candy there.
Right.
And so those are things you can do. Get rid of it by giving it away.
Right. I have to have a plan in place. Okay. So another thing that we can do, I enjoy is, packing a snack. Like I said, I almost always have a lunch with me or a lunchbox with me with a snack. Pack a snack with you wherever you go, or if you go into work, you know, make sure you have snacks and food and, or a lunch. And I guess the point is to make sure you have healthy food on hand so that when you get hungry, you can grab a healthy snack because you don't want to let yourself get starving because what happens when we are starving?
Yeah. We eat whatever is available.
We're hungry.
Right.
And when you get there, you find whatever food it is that you're going for.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at that point. You lose all sense of right and wrong and rationale. And you just go and you shove like who knows how many calories. I mean, you could shove like 1,200 calories in your mouth. I could.
Have you ever gone to the grocery store hungry? That is the worst. That is the worst. And then you get up to the checker and you're embarrassed by what's in your cart. You try and justify it. Well, you really can't though, because it's really, I've done that quite a bit.
Let's not go to the grocery store hungry that often.
I have, and it's a bad idea. Very bad idea.
But I am the one, I can be judgmental. I am the one looking at everybody else's cart.
You are so awful.
I know. I need to take that to the Lord. I take it to the Lord. I surrender
that's
to you.
clearly something you need to pray about.
Or I compare my car to someone else's car and look how bad my car looks.
Oh my goodness. I don't do that, just so you know. I look at other people's carts and I'm jealous of how healthy they are. That's who I am. I'm the one who has all of this junk in my cart.
You're the one I'm looking at.
You're the one.
We should go to the store together.
No. You're the one judging me. That's what's happening. I try. I really do try. I go on these kicks where I eat really well, all organic. I'm doing super good. And then I go to the grocery store hungry and it's just all out the window.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not that my kid doesn't like pizza rolls. I mean, if we gave her a giant bag of pizza rolls, that's all she would eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner until they were gone. So I can't buy them.
Okay, right. Set the trigger foods. Okay, more information, please.
Ready. Let's see. Oh, I love this tip. This has been one of my favorite tips so far. As you are eating, because it takes your brain 20 minutes to realize that your stomach is full, and I don't know about you, but in 20 minutes I can stuff a lot of food in my mouth. So you want to eat slower, eat a lot slower. And a great way to do that is to put your utensil down and take a drink of water after every bite. So you take a bite, put your utensil down, take a drink of water, a small drink of water. And that water will fill you up. You can also drink the water before and, all during your meal. And that water is going to expand. It's going to make you feel fuller, and it's going to slow you down.
That's really good. And the other thing that I try and do when I'm on a, good kick in my eating is when I've eaten and I think I've eaten enough, but I'm still hungry, I will wait 20 minutes. And if I am still hungry after 20 minutes, then I will eat.
That is a fantastic idea. That's a great idea. Oh, gosh. I hope I remember that the next time.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think that helps because it does. It takes 20 minutes for your brain to know I'm full. And so if you've eaten a normal portion,
right, you should be full. But I know I'm still hungry, and I will go and I will stuff my belly until it's full.
Right.
20 minutes later.
And eating until you're satisfied, not full.
Not stuffed.
Yes.
Not that.
Yes. Right. Because sometimes it's like 1 or 2 bites of food that do it in, huh? Yeah. And so it's eating until satisfied. That's a huge one for me.
Another thing that I really think has helped me are the soups, a clear broth soup, like a chicken broth base or a vegetable broth base or even a beef broth. So none of the creamy soups, but the clear soups with vegetables. You can make those. They're so simple. Just a teeny bit of oil for frying, but you can make a vegetable soup with a clear broth and maybe put some protein in it and maybe even a grain. And that is a healthy soup, and it will fill you up.
Right. And portion control. That is
huge.
That is huge. Portion control. I think that is something because like we mentioned, eating is one of those things that you can't just stop doing.
Right.
Clearly an unhealthy thing to do.
That would be
an unhealthy option. So you have to learn how to live in an appropriate way with food. And it's a lifestyle.
Right.
It's a lifestyle change.
Right.
And it's doing some really drastic different things.
Right. And I've got one other little tip here, and then bulking up your meals with fruits and vegetables. So if whatever it is you're eating, let's say you've got some chicken or whatever. I don't care if you have a piece of fried chicken. You can have a couple pieces of fried chicken.
Right.
But bulk that up with a quality, baked potato. What do you put with fried chicken? I don't eat fried chicken. Or bulk it up, with a quality
vegetables.
salad, like a good salad and some steamed vegetables, some fruit. Fruit is great, and bananas are the best.
Yep.
So, we have all of these tips and giving all this information, and it is about making changes, but they don't always have to be drastic changes all at the same time.
Right.
Pick one that you can be successful with, that you think you can be successful with, and start with that and go with that, and then just slowly, if you can afford to do it slowly. It just depends on where you're at in your life. I don't know.
Right.
What were you saying about the drastic changes?
I think that ultimately it can be a drastic change of lifestyle. It depends on where you are with your eating habits.
Right. And if you want to go all out, and by all means, take the bull by the horn and do it.
But don't do it alone. And I think it's important. It's a health issue. You do, I think, need to talk to your doctor if you're doing anything drastic.
My gosh. Yes.
But this is something, and I just cannot say this enough, and I think we'll talk about this definitely next week, but we cannot do this in our own power. There's people, but this has got to be Holy Spirit led. If we're going to do it the right way, if we're going to do it God's way, if we're going to do it to ultimately glorify Him, because we can eat good for ourselves and it's all about us, but we want to do things to glorify Him. We want to do it to be strong for His service, to, do what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, because ultimately we want to be healthy. Why?
Right. To go out and make disciples. Yeah.
And serve. And to glorify Him. And be a good witness.
And be a good witness. Absolutely. We want to be a good witness. We do not want to disqualify ourselves from preaching the gospel. And that's so important. And that can not only be physically and visually, I suppose, but also how we feel. Because like you said, sometimes when we're eating really bad foods, things that are not healthy for us, it changes our brain chemistry. Right. I said that part.
You said that.
But you said...
It sounded so good.
It was good. But you started talking about depression and some of the other things that can really affect our lives. And those are the things that can also... And it's not to say that there are not... I want to go on record. There is depression that is definitely chemical based, having nothing to do with food, and sometimes it does need medication. That is important to recognize.
Yes. And I think we're going to do something on depression.
I think so.
I want to go into some more detail on other things that I've learned with that.
Right.
But I absolutely 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
There are depressions out there that need medication.
Right. But there are depression that can be changed by how we're eating, how we are exercising. It's just like diabetes. There are diabetes that need medication, whatever. But there are diabetes you can actually reverse with their eating habits, with exercise, things like that. Yeah.
My parents, my mom has done a fantastic job. She's got diabetes, and she's been able to control it with diet and exercise.
Right.
With what she puts into her body
Absolutely.
and how she moves it.
Right. So there's some huge things that we can do to really live a healthier lifestyle. And we didn't want to walk away from last week without giving you actual solutions and tips. The things that don't sound all that spiritual. We wanted to make sure that you had the tools to be a healthier eater, to have a healthier lifestyle.
And I think what you said is right on. You don't go at this alone. Take it to, you're going to do this with the Lord because He's going to show you where to go. He's going to guide your steps.
Right. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. So we cannot rely on somebody else's journey.
And there is so much information out there. I mean, it can be very overwhelming.
Yes.
But when you seek the Lord, He's gonna guide you. He's gonna show you. He's gonna
put people in your path.
Exactly. He does that. I just think that is amazing.
I know it is awesome. Yeah.
And it makes the journey a lot more doable, a lot more fun when you're hanging out with you and God.
Right. Exactly.
And who gets the glory?
Yay! He does. So, I think our heart is for men and women to live lives of victory.
Right.
And that's spiritual victory in every area of their life. But this includes healthy lifestyle.
Right.
It includes food. It includes what we put into our bodies, because unfortunately, we're in a society that has a lot of, the chemicals and the processed stuff. I mean, it's getting bad.
Our society
it's something else. Something else. Yes.
Jesus better come soon. We're just going to kill ourselves.
Jeez, no kidding. Lord, we're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, so we digress. Anyway, yes, so I think that's important. But don't miss next week, because we are going to have a great time talking to Lorette Willis, and just really, we're going to let her do the talking, frankly, and just really just feed off of what she has to say.
And can I just say, I encourage every one of you to listen in next week, because I truly believe it will be life-changing.
Yeah.
The information that I've gotten from her so far, and I've struggled with this for all my life, have been transforming.
Yeah.
It is truly straight from the Lord. I love what she's doing and what the Lord is doing through her.
Yeah, so we're excited to have her on our podcast next week.
And so privileged.
Yes,
oh my
absolutely. We really are. We're very excited. So, do you have anything else, Cindy, that you want to add?
Nope. I don't think so.
Well, I think we've covered a lot. Yeah.
And of course, you guys, if you have any questions or comments or need any more information.
Yes.
Stephanie's giving me this look like.
No, I'm not. Yes.
No,
any
you guys
questions or comments?
Can email us.
info@setmefreeministries.net or post a comment on Facebook. We are happy to dialogue with you. And if there's anything that we missed or you would like to share with people, please do post on Facebook, share your ideas.
Right.
And we would love to hear them because we need the help too.
I'm always up for good ideas or recipes or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like a direction for, I love recipes. So.
Yeah. Easy, healthy recipes.
Easy and
That's
healthy.
what I need. Yes.
5 ingredients or less.
Yeah.
3 steps and healthy.
And kid friendly. That would be awesome
and
too.
kid-friendly.
Yes, if we could have all of
we don't
that,
ask for much.
that would be great. If you could shoot us some of those, that would be awesome. But we would love to hear from you and hear what you're doing to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
And we can't wait for next week. We'll be here with Lorette Willis. And I think
that's it.
all we have to say now is go out and make disciples. We'll see you next week.